All right, we're live. Hey guys, get ready because we're about to take it to the mic stand. Then as the YouTube screen kind of catches up here a little bit. Okay. Okay, so there we go. Now that that's kind of caught up there. Okay, so yeah, today's a bit more. It seems to be a bit more of a light news day. Even Hiro Hay acknowledged that earlier today. I was only able to find one story on bounding into comics, but I'll be doing that, and also I'll be also giving some commentary on another report that Hiro Hay did in regards to Death Note. Give me a quick second. I'm going to turn on my room light here. There we go. Should be a little better. Okay, so without any further ado, why don't we? Why don't well? Guess maybe we'll wait. Now that I have somebody else in here with me, maybe I will wait just a few more minutes, see if anybody else shows up real quick. How are you doing? Action Toy Channels. Anything interesting happen with you today? Aside from, of course, the fact that you just became the newest mod for my channel. Look, we have a third person in here. Hello, third person. Welcome to the stream. It's been good. Okay. Oh, now we have three people. Okay. All right. Hmm. I have to say here. Let's see, day's been good. I'm almost done making my very own He-Man. Oh, you're doing some toy figure work there, huh? Was He? I can tell you, He-Man was probably one of your favorite cartoons growing up. Let's see, anonymity. Where are you at? Yeah, well, he's sometimes a little late because of work. I know he gets off work. He's usually in. When I'm starting, he's usually en route on his way home. We do have a third person in here though. So 3D printing it out. Yeah, very wholesome cartoon. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you there. Might have remembered we were talking about it a little bit even the other night during the interview stream with the Knuckleheads. Hmm. So if I remember correctly, Action Toy Channels, did you say you have kids? I'm just curious because I figured, you know, three, two boys and one girl. Hmm. So do you share some of your cartoon experience with your kids then? Do do you have do you kind of show them some of the cartoons you grew up on? Yeah, my boys love them. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm sure, a lot of little boys would get into like He-Man and He-Man and GI Joe and Super Friends is probably my favorite growing up. Let's see, Challenge of the GoBots, um, Transformers, there Mask. There are a lot of good ones back in the '80s. There. Let's see. Boys like Beetlejuice and Batman, and they both will sit through a Dino Riders marathon. Ah, you must have them trained well. Beetlejuice and Bat. I'm taking that as Batman, the animated series from that started in '92. Basically, that was the first of the DCAU cartoons. Yeah. Hmm. Now, hopefully, they don't get any silly ideas like trying to climb to the roof and try to jump off thinking they can fly. I hope they don't do that. Laugh out loud. Nope. We're all scared of heights. uh, got a fourth person in here now, so that's good. Let's see. All right, so it looks like we got a nice little group here, and I know anonymity will hopefully come come in at some point. Probably when he gets home from Hart, he'll probably check. Knowing him, he'll probably check in on his way home from his phone. Probably let us know that he's like en route. To, but anyway, so now that we got a nice little group here, now I'm going to go ahead and get started on some of the news coverage here. So, as I said, not a whole lot going on today. Apparently, even Hero Hay had mentioned it. So, the main story tonight that I'm going to cover is this one right here. Um, American crime creator John Ridley to write person of color Batman for DC Comics. Previously reported as a rumor, we can confirm a person of color will inherit the cape and cowl in 2021. It was announced at DC Fandom screenwriter John Ridley, 12 Years a Slave, is writing a limited series about a new Batman. Now, I think that 12 Years a Slave, I think, is some kind of title or something like that. I don't think he actually was 12 Years a Slave, but I think that was more of a title. Ridley also wrote the screenplay for Red Tails and Ben Hur. He created the TV series American Crime as well. More recently, he was in the news for penning an op ed in the Los Angeles Times calling for HBO Max and Warner Media, DC Comics parent company, to remove Gone with the Wind from their platform. Yeah, I remember that was what, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, that Yellow Flash was reporting on this, how they were talking about, like, there was a whole big stink about it because part of it was, they were even talking about putting some kind of like disclaimer and they want before they would even allow you to watch the movie. They're going to have you sit through some kind of lecture. Um, so yeah, well, we lost somebody apparently. um, I think 12. Let's see. I think 12 Years a Slave was a movie. Probably he they said he was a screenwriter here, so um so let's see now. Okay. Um the headline for Ridley's op-ed read, "Hey HBO, Gone with the Wind romanticizes the horrors of slavery. Take it off your platform for now." He would argue in the article that it is a film that glorifies the antebellum South. It is a film that, when it is not ignoring the horrors of slavery, pauses only to perpetuate some of the most painful stereotypes of people of color. Um, Wine, wine, wine. Okay, here's a novel idea. If you don't like it, don't watch it. You know, if you don't like it, don't watch it. But it doesn't give you the right to say whether or not anybody else can watch it either, Mr. Ridley. DC publisher Jim Lee and Ridley um, revealed during the Legacy of the Bat panel a 4-issue arc drawn by Nick Darrington of Doom Patrol, centering around the family of Lucius Fox. And just in case you didn't know, Lucius Fox I think more in post-crisis Canaan, um, maybe he was part of the Silver Age too. He became like he became a good friend of Bruce Wayne. I know in the DCAU he was said to be the guy actually running Wayne Enterprises. So in Batman the Animated Series, Costner only celebrity you get canceled for being a native. Yeah. Uh, Ridley has hovered this project for about a year. I think it's a pretty safe bet that if I'm writing Batman, it's probably a little better than a 47% chance he's going to be a person of color, he said. Yeah, right. I think he knew in the back of his head it was going to be a lot more than that. But anyways, he then pivoted into talking about Fox and his son Luke. "This is a family that has kept secrets from one another." He continued. "It's a little bit different dynamic than the Batman that we've always seen. This is a pretty heavy indication the next Batman will be Luke Fox, who was printed for a stint in the bat suit since he first donned the Batwing armor. Lucius, as CEO of Wayne Enterprises, has been one of Bruce's closest confidants, eventually learning his true identity and aiding him in his mission. This was an important subplot in the Dark Knight film trilogy. We had both Alfred and Lucius helping him out in the films, I guess. And then I guess here's some of the artwork for the comic they're talking about. Rumor last year suggested we would see a Black Cape Crusader in 2020. Likely candidates were Luke Fox, the first first Bat. Let's see, Luke Fox, the first Batwing, David Zavimbi, Duke the Signal Thomas, and Black Lightning, Batman's partner in The Outsider. Um, yes, Black Lightning was actually one of DC Comics' first, African American black superheroes back in the mid 70s. I believe it was 75. I believe he was created in 75. And then for those of you who grew up maybe in the late 70s, early 80s, grew up watching Super Friends like I did, you probably remember the character Black Vulcan. Black Vulcan was somewhat based on Black Lightning as well. In fact, even Static Shock paid homage to Black Vulcan Virgil was when Virgil was trying to select costumes you'd wear, or figure out costumes you'd wear as Static. And at one point, he donned a costume that looked exactly like Black Vulcan, and Richie goes, "You look like a battery commercial." So, let's see what you guys are saying here as I'm commenting on all this. What about Tom Turbine? Oh yeah, from the Legends episodes. They said that Tom Turbine was supposed to be kind of a combination of the Golden Age Superman and the Golden Age Atom. So okay. Um, we're so excited to share the first image from the upcoming miniseries with the fans. Said a press release from DC for Ridley's miniseries, slated to go on sale in January. They issued key art by Ladron. That's in the first issue. I guess here's the artwork right here. Go down a little bit by bit so you all can see it. John Ridley is also authoring a DC Black Label book spotlighting the heroes of color in the DCU, the other side of the DC universe, that goes on sale in November. Before then, DC is holding a second fandom on September the 12th titled Explore the Multiverse. Yeah, the fandom that gave us the last 2 weekends of Toonami movies devoted to Batman. Will you be tuning in or picking up a Will you be tuning in or picking up a copy of John Ridley's Batman series? Tell us below. So, so that was it for that. That was it for that article. Let's see. Laugh out loud. Got 4 people back, so that's good. Hello, everybody. Hello to the newcomers as well. I hope you guys are enjoying the stream so far. Um, with that now. Oh, that was the first story of the night here. Um, something else I'm going to talk about a little bit here too. Oh, excuse me a moment. Gotta go off screen for a moment. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back now. Okay, so Hero Hay did a video earlier today. As I was, going through some of the videos, some of the subscriptions and stuff like that. Apparently, I think it was in Arizona. Hero Hay was covering a story, I guess, from Fox News in Arizona, where apparently they found a death note or some kid's version of a death note in their backpack. Hirohei didn't go into a whole lot of the detail only because, he didn't want to, you know, risk getting copyright struck by ABC. But apparently, so they found the death note, um, or some kid's version of a death note in their backpack. You know, um, had made a list of, I guess, some of his classmates that he had kind of wished. Well, the Cogs not knowing Death Note, apparently. Excuse me a moment. Excuse me one moment. Or a few moments here. My throat's a little dry here. Sorry about that, guys. My throat was feeling a little scratchy due to, it's been like 90 degrees here in Southern California. So, anonymity, hello. You're here. You're here, my friend. Hey, Evan just got home, going to make some food. Yeah, dinner time for you getting off work, right? um, I don't know if you saw or not anonymity, but Action Toy. I just made Action Toy Channel's moderator tonight. So, so you guys are both moderators now. Yeah. Yeah, so I just went through an article about a screenwriter by name of John Ridley, who's going to be writing penning a Batman story, making Lucius Fox's son Luke Fox Batman. And I was just going over a story from Death Note as well, that I heard about through Hero Hay earlier, in which you meant, I guess there was a kid in Arizona who they found his version of a Death Note in their backpack. So let's see what you guys have said here. God mode activated. Uh, welcome to the wrenches. uh, yeah, there wasn't really much news today. So so um, well, let me ask you guys something here. if there were like local conventions going on in your area, would you consider going to them right now, or are you guys just trying to stay away from big crowds as much as possible? I thought all he had to say is that it's role play for an anime. Hmm. Let me ask it again. Um, if there was a if there was a convention going on near you guys, would you consider going, or if you just try to stay away from the crowds with everything going on? I would go. Yeah, because I had been thinking possibly about doing some kind of convention previews again, but right now, with even though there still are some conventions going on, I know there's a lot of restrictive rules, like some of them are making you still wear masks. There's the temperature checks and all that. So, excuse me one moment, while I go. I know people wouldn't want to have to deal with the hassle and stuff. I stayed away from the toy cons that have been happening. Yeah, I mean that's understandable. No mask and WTF temperature checks. And I mean, I myself haven't been to a con in like 10 years or so. So um, I just figured I'd throw it out there. Right now there aren't a whole lot of conventions going on, and some of them are going on, but virtually. But I don't know. I think you do miss something. With virtual cons. Because the idea of having that interaction with people. But everybody's just becoming so scared of the virus. It's like they don't want to. I can't afford to get sick. Yeah, I guess that's understandable. You got kids and stuff, so you gotta, you're probably the main breadwinner in your family too. So, um, yeah, just again, just trying to. I was just asking just to um see about finding some. So, let me ask you then this. When was the last time you guys went to a convention, and what convention was it that you went to? Okay, let's see. Wait, bad heart, diabetes, asthma. About not really enough. Yeah, You're one of those. It sounds like you're one of those who's in the high risk category. Then, hey, Action Toy Channels. They. Never been to an anime, but I've been to Home and Garden and a few car shows and If I remember correctly, you've actually helped set up cons, haven't you, Anonymity? I think you even mentioned that. What was it, yesterday, the other day? Okay. I went to a Toy Con before the Rona hit Canada in Woodstock, Ontario. Had you ever been to Kitchener Action Toy Channels? Have you been to Kitchener Toy Con or Kitchener Comic Con? Yeah, kind of sucks. Sure have. Yeah, I bet you probably with the fact that if you volunteer some, you probably get to go to a lot of them. Granted, you're working them, but I guess even still being there, even if you're working them, it's still a pretty good time to be had, huh? You get to interact with people, and you get to talk anime and all, or whatever the subject matter of the con is. Okay. Yeah, the Toy Con. I wanted to go to KCC, but my car died that morning. Yeah, that's kind of a bit of a stiff there, isn't it? When something like that happens, um, when something like that happens, and um, you're all set to go, and then it just things just life will throw you a curveball. I set them up and tear down the actual shows and such. I don't do. Uh, okay. Hmm. So how's your week going, guys? Anything interesting happening this week for y'all? I was not amused with my life that day. I had my cosplay pack and everything. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes when life throws you a curveball like that, they can really be screwy, really frustrate you. I've had days like that too. Same old, same old, same ill. Old. Hmm. Yeah. So we have four people in here right now. So I know there's one person who seems to be lurking. How are you doing? If you wish to comment, I hope you're kind of granted tonight was probably not one of the bigger news days in terms of niche anime. It just had that couple of stories there, couple of quickies there. But let's see, what how can we trying to think of what I might see. Don't be see. My brother asked me to help out with a side job. Laugh out loud. Got to charge him double the cost of beer. Laugh out loud. Don't be shy. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I try to have I try to have some fun and get some good conversations going. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see now. Oh, did you guys happen to catch any of the Batman movies over the last couple of weekends on Toonami? Oh, wait. That's right. Anonymity, you told me you don't have cable. Sorry about that. I forgot about that. How about you, Action Toy Channels? Did you happen to catch either any of the Batman movies on Toonami the last couple of weeks? I don't have cable or sat, just Netflix. Oh, hmm. Let me see. How would you all like to join me in the studio here? I'm thinking about inviting you all in here, and we that way we can just talk back and forth rather than me talking and then having you guys type back to me. I've been using Hulu and some sites on the seven seas. Yeah, I'm gonna use the invite option here to see if you guys want to. Okay. Oh, okay. I guess it doesn't work quite like that. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put the link up, and if anybody wants to come in and join me in the studio here, you're more than welcome to do so. That way, we can actually verbally talk to each other as opposed to just typing back and forth. Mm. Yeah, so they had the DC Fandom, I guess, this past Saturday, and then they're having another one September 12th. I guess it's one of the ways they're trying to recoup some of the fan interest in the comics and in the TV series with everything going on with COVID right now. Let's see what it is. I'm just eating and watching, tired. Mm, yeah, yeah. I noticed Batgoat hasn't been back in here in a while. In about a week or so. Would figure he would have been in here. I figured Batgoat and Action Toy Channel would have a lot to talk about because you guys are both more into the cartoon stuff, like I am. I think Fat Goat's been working late or something. I haven't seen him around anywhere. Something must be going on because, well, he said he's actually retired, so I don't know if it's as much working, but something must be going on if he hasn't been around, of course. And we wouldn't know much of anything else either because, like, Tug hasn't been streaming much of late. Yellow Flash only streams on the weekends, so so. And then we haven't seen Gelf in here in a while either, but I guess he's working. I mean, it's of course middle of the day where he's at in Australia when I'm streaming. So, hmm. So to the fourth person hasn't identified themselves, if more than welcome to chime in and say something, or even come into the studio with me if you'd like. Maybe he took some time off. Yeah, sometimes people do. I mean, even Yellow Flash. I remember. I think the other on Sunday he actually did a rare video on Sunday. He mentioned in the video, yeah, I normally take a Sunday off from 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 computer and stuff like that. So sometimes it's good. Just the Gelf might be at RG Raging Golden Eagle or EVS streams. Yeah. Oh, we have 5 people in here now. Cool. Hello, fifth person. Hello, fourth and fifth person. Here's the link again in case anybody wants to join me in the studio. In the virtual studio, as it were. So to the newcomers, do you guys have any questions or anything you want to ask me, or any comments you want to make? I'm all ears. Hopefully we can have a. Oh, somebody. Oh, let's see who this is now. Oh, hey, Action Toy Channels.
Hey there, how's it going?
All right. Glad you could join me in here. You, you there? I guess are you still adjusting your sound and stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah, sometimes it's easier to have a conversation when you actually have a chance to talk back and forth with people instead of just
yeah.
me talking and then you guys responding with with the with typing.
Oh, the chat, yeah.
Yeah. Action choice.
Hey, anonymity.
Yeah. So you're from Canada then?
Yeah, Southern Ontario.
Southern Ontario. So you're
Yep.
actually from the same area. You anywhere near Kitchener or it's
Yep, they
another?
are an hour and 20 minutes away from me.
Wow. Yeah, you did say you went to Kitchener Toy Con.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
it's very
I
fun.
remember when I was still doing the anime convention previews. I actually profiled both of those, both Kitchener Toy Con and Kitchener Comic Con. I don't know if you remember hearing me talk about that with the Knuckleheads the other night, but I mentioned to them that Samantha Newark, who did the voice of Jem from Jem and the Holograms, was a
Oh
guest
yeah,
there this past year.
yeah, that was pretty. That was interesting.
Mm. Oh, the interview?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was actually the first one I'd ever done, believe it or not.
Oh, well, okay. You were well structured, so I was like, oh, okay. I didn't think
Well,
that
yeah,
was your
I mean,
first
I had a
interview.
pretty good idea what I wanted to do. We just ran a little longer than I expected. When I started asking about like the issue about the predation at cons with them and started talking about that, that's the part of the topic that actually kind of ran long. But even though I wasn't necessarily intending to go into anything too serious or deep, I just because I'm still trying to like get a pull together a panel list. You know, um,
Oh yeah, completely understandable.
so I'm still relatively new at all this.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever used any kind of streaming service to talk with anybody. So,
Ah, a couple of newbies out of here.
yeah, I was like, okay, what is this thing? Okay, oh, okay, need name. What's this avatar thing? Okay, camera, all that stuff. I was like, all right, I had to learn it all on the fly.
What I did prior to deciding to start streaming, I actually did some trial. In July there, I did some trial streams where I kind of did some streaming and stuff. Where I did some streaming to where to kind of get myself accustomed to doing some of it. I mean, I even still, I don't really use an avatar. I don't even really know how to use the avatars on here yet. But then again, I'm not really the type who noob there too. Ha ha ha. Noob here. Yeah, yeah. So I at least did some work there, and then of course I decided to do it. You know, I had decided to start streaming more because I figured I get more people to watch more, and be able to pass along a lot of the content, because people, I tend to make 15, 20, 25-minute videos. People just don't always have the patience or the time to sit through them. So I
Yeah,
figured maybe I'd be better as a streamer with as much information as I have.
yeah. I completely get that. I've made videos and they're like 45 minutes, and the person watches 3 minutes and they click off. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh.
actually, one of my IRL friends was warning me about that too. That some people actually do that. And I've seen it particularly with my VA profile videos.
Okay.
Um, I was doing those as premieres for a while to try to engage in interaction, but again, couldn't get the interaction in there. So I decided to just make those as regular videos to try to
Mhm.
and I started doing the VA profiles because with everything going on with the fix situation and stuff like that,
Oh yeah.
I think there are a lot of dub voice act. They're not all like Kick Big voice actors. There's a lot of them who are actually pretty cool. A lot of them who are just pretty much just trying to stay out of it,
Yeah,
just
keep
doing
their
their
head
own
head,
thing,
head low, don't be noticed. Yeah, I get
and
that.
they need the positive, you know, positive promotion.
Yeah.
I figured, we got enough people demoting the bad VAs, the bad people. Why not focus more on promoting the good people?
Yeah. The problem is that all the bad people scream so loud, they just drive everybody away. No one wants to hear it anymore.
Right. Well, that's why I tried. Like when I start, as I said, I've had a YouTube account since 2013, but I was using it more to just watch stuff. I didn't even start to actually do videos until last like May, so over a year ago. And then because I figured I had some stuff I could add to the conversation, you know, because there are a lot of things that a lot of people don't know, like the Guardiola situation. I was the one who brought that to the Flash's attention.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I haven't watched a whole lot of videos lately on Comics Gate. It was wrong. I stopped running. I kind of put a bad taste in my mouth, when they start talking
I
about each other, and it's just like, oh, If you know what I mean, it's just I just didn't want to hear it anymore because
Yeah, I mean,
it's like watching live Twitter.
mhm.
It's like,
Yeah, well, yeah, I can see that. I actually deactivated my Twitter account back in December because I was kind of getting so caught up in some of it, getting so heated that for me, after a while, I just realized that it was, it's time. I don't really need this. And at this point, we're at a point now where we're just a few weeks away we're about a month away from maybe a little under a month away from the appeals decision. You know,
yeah,
um, and at this point, it's just rhetoric. Getting involved with the KVers, it's just rhetoric. It's not even really unless they do something that's just so profoundly stupid, like Ron has been known to do at times, like Ron Toy at times. Unless they do something that's just so profoundly stupid or say something just so profoundly stupid, it's not really worth covering them. You know, and I figured, I could do coverage on on niche as a whole, on like on anime, cartoons, comics, um manga, and pro wrestling, particularly the classic stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, this past I was really let's see what anonymity has to say. Spreading awareness to a certain point is effective. Then it's just meh. But I feel for content. Yeah, I mean, after a while, hearing a group of people say the same, trying to make the same stupid arguments over and over again, it gets to the point where it's not worth it. It's not worth getting involved because it's like, you know you're not going to change their mind. They're not going to change. That no matter what I mean, they could have any amount of evidence presented to them of Vic not doing what they say that he's doing, and they're still going to find a way to turn it around into some kind of perverse thing.
yeah. Like they
No.
had evidence. The person come out and said, "Hey, this is my photo. I consented to this hug. What they said is a lie." And then everyone just dogpiled on that person saying, "How can you defend an abuser?" It's like craziness.
Yeah.
It's just,
As I've said on a number of occasions, a lot of these people in Kickback need to be straight jacketed, locked in a padded room somewhere, and allowed to just bang their heads against the rubber wall.
I don't even think that would help.
Probably wouldn't help much, but at least they'd be out of our hair.
That's very true. Oh, oh, that's funny. I was like, oh, it's like just like the other day, like someone's like, it's like I was like going through my Facebook. Yeah, I still have Facebook. Um,
I do too.
people, I was like going through, and one person's like talking about Black Lives Matter and Antifa and how great they are, and I was like, you do realize that Black Lives Matter has been co-opted by Antifa, and that's why all the violence and the riots are going on right now. And they're like, "Are you saying it's bad to be anti-fascist and all this other stuff?" And then I was like, "No." Then they got into a tangent about feminism and women's rights, and I was like, "That's cool. I don't really care."
What's kind of funny is
Hmm.
how they love to, as Yellow Flash would put it, how they go with their whole orange man bad
Yeah.
argument, and they love calling him Hitler, right? They love
Yeah.
calling Trump Hitler. Yet from an ideological standpoint, if anybody is really comparable to Hitler, it's the people in Antifa and Black Lives Matter. They're the
Yeah.
ones who are really the Hitlers. BLM is a lie. Yeah.
Yeah. Like there was like what, a year or two ago, I was watching a YouTuber, and I was like, and I just typed in on the comments, I was like, holy heck, they talked about this fascism, rights, and all the segregation stuff. I was like, so you know what? You should stop calling the right Nazis and go far left Nazis, and then it makes sense. It's like, oh.
Well, yeah, historically, Democrats have actually been the ones who've been
Mm-hmm.
racist.
Yeah.
I think again, and I know a lot of Democrats are trying to erase history too, because it was actually, if you remember your history, it was actually the Republicans who were the ones who ended up freeing the slaves.
Yeah, they're the liberators. Yeah.
So, not that I was trying to go on a political rant here or anything like that, but
Oh,
you know,
yeah. It's like all you hear about these days, even in Canadian news. That's all they talk about is how much Trump's evil and stuff like that. It's just stupid.
yeah. Well, because the thing is, he's draining the swamp.
Yeah.
He's basically trying to drain the swamp. And when you have such a strong establishment, you got both sides, aiming pitchforks at you because you're disrupting the quote natural order of things in DC.
How dare you upset the status quo?
Right. When a lot of people have wanted out. There's this guy I watch, one of the other guys that's for more political coverage named Red Eagle Politics. He's a pretty cool guy he does some pretty good analysis and stuff like that. He was talking about how the riots that started up in Kenosha after that Jacob Blake guy got shot.
Yeah. Here he is.
That's
Yeah.
actually apparently, according to him, that's actually apparently helping Trump.
Yeah.
So,
Like,
well, yeah, but what a lot of people too, I think sometimes don't understand too is when we're talking politics these days, it's not really talking politics as much. It's more talking about ideological values.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like before I retired, I was like, you know what? This is all BS. I'm not gonna deal with this shit anymore. Because I'd go to work and it just felt like high school, but people arguing over politics and all the stupid social drama that was going on. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Now, granted, comics and cartoons have had their own fair share of politics throughout, but not to the way that it is now. I mean,
Yeah.
I can tell you when I was doing, when I was going back in time and looking up some of the old like synopses of like the comics in like the 30s, 40s, and 50s, and the golden age and stuff. I don't know if you knew this, but they had at times put Franklin Delano Roosevelt in the comics. In
Really?
DC and in Quality, yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
DC
I
and
did not.
Quality would actually have FDR in some of the stories.
I've never even seen it.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably one of the few people who would actually go back and look up old comic book synopses and even try to track down old comic books to like look through the stories or whatever. So that's granted, it wasn't as bad. They're all peaceful shootings. Yeah.
Black Lives Matter is a lie. It's just stupid. It's like, doesn't everybody matter? Does anyone mean more to someone
but
else?
if you say all lives matter, then you're a racist. If you say all lives matter, then you're a racist. It's like
that's what you just say. No lives matter. Just think of it, right? And just banner back with them.
Yeah.
Oh, what the heck was it?
Huh?
Well, it was like 3-4 weeks ago. My sister-in-law invited me over to her and her girlfriend's house, and they were like, "Eric, can you scare away this person? He's just annoying." I was like, "Why? What's going on?" They're like, "Oh, you'll see when he gets here." And it was like, "Oh, a complete SJW." I was like, "Oh," and it was funny.
Okay, so you said your sister-in-law's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Girlfriend as in girl who's a friend, or girlfriend as in they?
They're a couple. They've been together for like a long time.
Okay.
So no one can accuse me of being sexist or misogynist or racist or anything like that. Yeah. No, because we went over there and this guy's like, he keeps spouting all this BS. And they just asked me to like talk to him and stuff. I was like, all right. And the funny thing was, he's telling them what's right and wrong, and all this stuff about Black Lives Matter stuff. And he's at the house, and every resident in there is black, and it was just hilarious. I was like, oh my god, dude! It's like you gotta have a seat. So I
So
literally
was
just,
this guy a white guy trying to preach
yeah,
to black people about being black?
yeah, it was hilarious. I was like, oh gosh. So I just sat down and I was like, oh, now let me just tell you this here, sir. Put on a good old Southern accent, and just start talking to him, and I just like played devil's advocate and was like, all right, I'm gonna talk to you like I am a pure-blooded Republican here, and we're gonna sit here and have a conversation. He got mad. He got mad and he had to get up and walk away a few times. And I'm literally sitting next to my sister-in-law's girlfriend, and we're all just sitting there laughing when he walks away. It was hilarious. The guy ended up being the butt of
So
the
I
party.
take it your sister-in-law and her girlfriend are are they more of a more from an ideological standpoint more conservative,
Mm,
or are they kind of
I
more
would
in the
I would
middle?
say they're just open-minded and they just want to be left alone to do their own thing.
Hmm.
They don't follow politics, because like my sister-in-law at one point she's like, I identify as men. I was like, oh, so you guys are actually just a straight couple, and then she couldn't get that through her head, and eventually she's like, oh, okay, I'm just a lesbian. Well, that was like years ago though. It's like, oh,
Hmm.
because she's like, no, because she thought, because she had female parts, but she still identifies man. I was like, but if you identify as man, then you're a man, and you and your partner are a straight couple basically. And it just went over her head so
Hmm.
far. So I was like, oh, whatever. I'm not gonna push this too much. It's just, yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, basically, to each their own. To each
yeah,
their own, and treat others as you would
be
want to
treated.
be treated.
Yeah,
That's what we really have to get back to. Even I get a little tired of hearing all the and what one of my close friend, one of my close friends IRL is a black person, and we
yeah,
have some very strong differing opinions on Black Lives Matter. I mean, he's more focused on the underlying message of Black Lives Matter,
yeah,
you know. But when he starts crying racism and he starts like talking about systemic racism and all that, it's like, yeah, I don't think so.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, I think Canada is so much more racist than America could ever be right now. Because yeah, they completely trash, walk all over like minority rights all the time. And it's just hilarious.
But then I don't think Canada doesn't necessarily have the same level of a constitution that we do here in the states, right?
They do have a constitution. I don't bother read it because the first part of the constitution is all First Nations rights are to be guaranteed, and they're not. They get trampled on all the time.
Yeah. Well, up in Canada too, the political parties aren't necessarily Republican and Democrat. They're a little
Liberal and
bit different.
conservative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
liberal. Yeah. There's and I think, don't you guys have a Labor Party up there?
Uh, I've never seen it. I know
Oh,
the Green Party finally got some people in. First
oh,
time in ever.
hmm, yeah.
Hmm.
So,
I think they got 2% in this last year.
uh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So aside from like superhero cartoons, have you watched any like Hanna Barbera cartoons with your kids, or do you even get Hanna Barbera up there?
No, I don't think I have watched any of those with my kids. I know I've got like really old like Disney stuff like that, but
You know what Hanna Barbera is, right? You know what I'm
yeah, let
talking
me
about?
let me
Like
double
Yogi
check.
Bear, Huckleberry
Oh,
Hound.
yeah. Oh, like the classics.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They don't care for them. Like I said, yeah, like I got them into watching Dino Riders, He-Man, Beetlejuice. Heck
So
was that other one?
your boys are more into which is understandable. Your boys are more into the action cartoons. What about your
Yeah,
daughter?
my daughter, like after she had Dora the Explorer, which was a terrible time, and Caillou, which is even worse time. She stopped caring about cartoons right now. She's like in a room playing Fortnite on her Switch and or plays on her phone. And I'm like,
A
oh,
terrible time with Dora the Explorer
Caillou?
and Caillou. What was
Yeah.
that all about? Why did she have a terrible time with those?
Oh no, it was a terrible time for me. She
Oh,
loved it. It was a terrible time for me.
oh, why was it a terrible time for you?
It was not. Um, okay, go watch a couple episodes of each one, and you may get it.
Oh,
You'll get it. I don't know how to explain that. It's just mind-numbingly the same thing, but just slightly different every time.
well, yeah, but they are meant for kids too. So I mean,
Yeah.
if I think I'm beginning, are you, basically, are you talking about like simple, simple plot lines and all that kind of thing?
Yeah. It's like today we're gonna go for a walk down to grandma's house, and then on the way we're gonna run into like all these 50,000 different types of problems, and then we're gonna solve one each on the way there.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, I can see where you have a problem because Dora the Explorer is actually targeted towards like preschoolers, I believe,
Yeah.
preschoolers and younger children.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
So
my daughter just is gonna be turning 13 this year, so
yeah.
so
Well, maybe you should try to turn her on to the classic like She-Ra, not the
yeah,
She-Ra
she
that
probably
came
she
out a
might like
couple
that.
years
She might
ago,
not.
like the She-Ra that I and you probably grew up on, the Filmation
Yeah.
She-Ra.
Oh gosh. Oh, I was like, that's not even She-Ra. Who the heck is this person? Where the hell's the sword? I was just so disappointed in that show. I was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah. I hear they're gonna be bringing out gonna try and remake Beast Wars, and I was like, ooh, that sounds good. I was all excited.
Well, yeah. Well, I know Yellow Flash has been talking a lot about that too, in terms of that, where basically creators right now are just seemingly creatively bankrupt because all they're doing now is just taking old properties and now trying to push an agenda through those properties.
Yeah, and
You know.
they're lost all independent thought and going recycle mode. Yeah, it's pretty boring.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kid shows.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up on some. I mean, of course, like a lot of little boys, I was into a lot of the action adventure cartoons like Super Friends, He-Man and the Master of the Universe, Challenge of the Go-Bot. Hold on a sec. Excuse me a moment. I gotta go see what my dog's up to there.
Okay.
You're gonna probably hear her at it.
Uh, like the 3D CGI Beast Wars. Yes, anonymity. Yeah. I hear it's going to be good, and I am so pumped, but at the same time, I am so scared because 2020 has been so disappointing. 2019 has been so disappointing. We're going to see how it goes. Well, for the for re-releasing intellectual properties, anyways, it's just bad. So, anonymity, you going to join us in here? Oh, Mike's back.
I'm back. What are you guys talking about?
Talking about you to your face. No,
uh, let's see. Like the third CGI Beast Wars. Be very scared. The recent trends have been not so encouraging, to say the least. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
I heard.
I think even the Knuckleheads were bringing that up the other night during the interview as well.
Yeah, like it's all scary right now. It's like, you like something that you've been waiting for like for decades is now coming out, but it's coming out at the worst time because you know it's gonna be pumped full of a political message with ideological stupidity attached to it. It's like,
Yeah, as I was starting to mention, though, like a lot of little boys, I was into all the action adventure cartoons. But I also like Hanna-Barbera. I like Yogi Bear and that stuff too. That that was kind of a nice little bit of escape. I mean, could you imagine walking around Jellystone Park with Yogi Bear there,
That would have been
flying it,
amazing.
or flying in the bubble hover cars of the Jetsons?
Oh, that would have been amazing. That would have been awesome. Except for I didn't like the boss. He was too small. And he just picked on that poor guy too much.
Yeah.
I did like the Flintstones Jetsons crossover. That was pretty good.
Oh yeah, the that's another classic movie, the
Yeah.
Flintstones, the Jetsons, in which they basically they go back and forth to their own times, you know, yeah, so.
Yeah. So what do you think about this new Star Trek Lower Deck stuff?
I haven't been watching it. I mean, honestly I don't watch newer stuff. The only newer stuff I'll watch is maybe anime,
Oh,
but
okay.
but the stuff that usually premieres on Toonami, you know.
Yeah.
Even though I kind of do my own, even though I do my own little blocks, independently.
Yeah.
I watch online, I stream online. Um, but I don't sit there and for me, I try to recreate like the experience. So what I'll do is I'll set up my own little block. I have my own little Toonami block for like the morning, and then late at night my Adult Swim block, and it's like usually about like a 2 hour block. So I have my own sources that I use. So
Hmm.
like let's see right now let's see on my Toonami block I'm watching Mobile Fighter G Gundam, um rewatching Ultimate Muscle.
That's an
um,
amazing cartoon. I like that.
yeah.
Ultimate muscle. Yeah. Okay.
Well, get this. You know the Kaniku Buster, right? You remember the Kaniku Buster, or also known as a Muscle Buster?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know that professional wrestler Samoa Joe adopted that as his finisher.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
He sets it up a little differently though. What he does is, he'll have his opponent like sitting on the turnbuckle, right? And he
Yeah.
comes over and he kind of brings the guy down, and then picks him up from the turnbuckle, and then he'll walk around a bit and then come down, sit out with it.
Oh.
Well, I don't
That
know if
would.
you.
That's a bad day right there for anybody that gets that.
Yeah. Well, that's a shock to your spine. That's a shock to your neck and spine, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew this as well, but the professional wrestler Tiger Mask was based on an anime as well. There was an anime called Tiger Mask back in the 70s. It started
Yeah.
back in late 60s, early 70s. And there was actually a number of professional wrestlers who donned the Tiger mask. The first of which was Satoru Sayama
Yeah.
in the 80s there. And then among others, let's see, the late Mitsuharu Misawa was the Tiger Mask for a little while. There's, I think, right now a Tiger Mask like number 4 who's active right now in Japan, what they call Puroresu over there.
Yeah. Yeah. Because there's a new anime that came out for pro. It was a wrestling anime, and the guy wears a tiger mask, and he gets transported to another world, and he's their hero.
Hmm.
Yeah. First thing he does something similar to the Muscle Buster to the princess right off the bat, or was it a suplex? I think he suplexes her right off the bat when he gets there because she interrupted his time with his animals. It was funny.
What kind of suplex? Because there's a number of different. Are you talking about the standard suplex where it's like a front face lock with the head over like this and that, or is it like a belly to back,
Belly
German,
to back. It was
dragon?
a belly to back, and she ended up getting suplexed, and he got up, and she stayed in that position, and then her clothes, skirt, her dress fell down a little ways, and everyone can see it. They started calling her Princess Underpants. It was funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I piqued your
Yeah.
interest on that one.
Huh?
I think I got your interest on that one.
What? Oh, the wrestling at well, as I
Yeah,
told you, I cover anime,
yeah.
cartoons, comics, manga, and pro wrestling. So, I mean, I'm also. I don't know if you've seen these, but I'm also doing a profile piece known as the Squared Circle Calendar. I started in January of '75, and what I do is I just basically go over the some of the main things going on in the world of professional wrestling around those times. I just recorded the August '75 episode uh the other day. So
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's the name of the anime. It's Kimon Michi Rise Up. That's what it is.
uh
So I was like, oh, I had to check it because as soon as I couldn't remember the name, I was like, okay, got to go and check it out.
yeah. So among the other animes that I'm watching right now too include let's see, as I told you, I'm also watching Ungo. Um it's kind of a mystery one. And then the last of my Toonami block right now is watching Wings. Now, Wings Club is not technically anime; it's more cartoon, but I'm watching that as well. And then for during my Adult Swim block, I'm rewatching Goku-sen. Goku-sen's actually a pretty funny one. I mean, it's more slice of life, but Goku-sen's about a yakuza heiress who'd always dreamed of becoming like a teacher, and she's going and she does become a teacher, and a lot of it's kind of a comedic slice of life one where she's trying to keep her identity as a yakuza heiress secret, even though one of her students figures it out, but he
Yeah,
keeps her secret because he thinks she's just he thinks she's cool.
yeah.
Actually, in it, of course, as with all animes, it's based on a manga. In the manga, and they even had a live action version of the show.
Oh,
Well, her student, that super bright student, becomes eventually becomes her husband, and he
oh.
becomes a teacher as well. So some interesting
Oh.
twist there.
It is, yeah. That reminds me of Maid Sama. She's like the super athletic, powerful girl, fully competent, everything that goes on at school. But the way she gets through life is that after school, she has to go work at a maid cafe, and one guy finds out, just walks in, finds out where she works, and then he kind of like blackmails her into being his friend.
Hmm.
It's awesome. They end up being together in the end. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, something I might have to check out if I haven't already.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Depends on how long you get. And then let's see, Goku-sen. I'm also um rewatching Black Lagoon. Now I'm a dubber.
Oh,
I'm a dubber. So
yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so
I'll,
the
like
way,
I'll listen. What's that?
huh?
Oh, sorry. I'll wait till you're done.
Well, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say I listen to dubs, but it's only if I'm not gonna be at my anywhere near the TV, so I can't read. So
Mhm.
I'll listen to it as it's going, and sometimes I'll
Mm.
stop and be like, "That's not what happens," and I'll go back and I was like, have to rewatch it.
Yeah. Well, I prefer the dubs because for me, a lot of you know it's about recreating the experience.
Yeah.
Recreating those blocks and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, oh, be very scared. Maid Sama.
Yeah.
Were you typing that out
Uh,
for anonymity?
yeah. So he wants to check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's only the three of us right now. We had a couple people earlier who were lurking, but I guess one of them I think did drop a like, so that's at least good.
That's good. Yeah.
Let's see. I'm also watching. I'm also watching. Let's see. Aside from let's see, Gokushin, Black Lagoon. Um, well, I'm watching Violet Evergarden as part of all that too. Trying to remember. Oh, Sands of Destruction. as well. So now for me, when I put my blocks together, of course, since I'm a dubber, I'll try to keep it all. I have two I have two slots for the LA dub studios,
Yeah.
two two blocks for New York, then one each for like Funimation, um,
Oh.
Sentai,
Yeah.
and and the Canadian ones.
Hmm.
I mean, not everybody. Granted, there are a few people that fun. Obviously, there's that small cadre of individuals who are pieces of POCs, but they're not
Yeah.
all bad. You know, we have a fourth person in here. Somebody else just joined us. That's cool. So let's see now. Yeah. Like I said, I felt like I'd do better felt like I'd do better as a streamer just because
Yeah.
having more of the active back and forth. Um. So yeah. So let's see now. Um. So now we are actually coming on to the hour and a half mark. So thank you for coming in and joining me,
Oh yeah.
Action Toy Channel.
Of course, it was fun. I enjoy this.
Yeah. Well, for me again, it's like I may do this a little bit more often. When the news day is slow, bring you guys in. I'll definitely be doing it on Fridays if I can't get any guests in. Like my intent with on Fridays is to try to get two or three other YouTubers in here, you know, for panels and stuff to talk about stuff. Um, but I still got to build up that pool. But sometimes when the news day is slow like this, sometimes you need to just okay, I'll just open it up and see who wants to come in and chat it up. So now we're coming on the hour and a half mark. So how do you guys feel about this day in each history? You guys ready for that?
Yeah.
How about you there, anonymity?
I've been watching Kabukuchi Sherlock, among other things. So,
I've been watching Kabikuchi, Sherlock, among other things. Well, let's see. Well, Case Closed is pretty good too. So what about you, anonymity? You ready for this day in each history?
had a name drop. Case closed. The only show that never showed the protagonist getting back his rightful form. I was like, oh.
Well, yeah, because what happened was, from what I understand, due to low ratings.
Yeah, he got canceled before it could finish.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was
it's
like,
still going. It's still going on in Japan,
yeah,
from what
the
I
manga's going
understand.
on,
It's
right? Yeah.
it's still going on in Japan. Case closed is still going on in Japan. Um, and I still don't think But here in the states, we only have up through 130. Okay, yay! Let's see. I'm always ready for niche history. Okay, so and Action Toy Channel, if you'd also like to comment on some of it as well, give your commentary on some of these
Oh, okay.
tidbits, you're more than welcome to since you're joining me in the studio here. Let's
Mm.
see now. Oh wait, first off, I should probably remind myself of what's what up here of all these different tabs. Let's see, 2010. That's 1950. That's from 2015. And let's see, that's from 2005. Okay. So that's from, let's see. Yeah. Okay. Just got to remind myself which is which, trying to keep everything in good chronological order here. Okay, there we go. That's where we'll start. Here we go. Let me share screen here. Let's see now. Here we go, right here. Okay, so first off, I'd like to wish well. First off, let me show you who this guy is. I'd like to wish a happy 70th birthday to his ring name is Jesse Hernandez. His real name is Jesse Lizarga Zigaraga. Um, This guy was, of course, the promoter out of Southern California here, out of San Bernardino area. Um, he he's been a referee, a promoter, and a trainer. And among the people he has trained have included Rico, Rico Constantino, the same Rico who was with Billy and Chuck. If you remember that angle, Action Toy Channels in the WWE.
No, I what they today.
That was back in the 2000. That was back in the early 2000s. That's when Billy Gunn and Chuck Palumbo were. That's
The
when the
Attitude Era,
WWE.
huh?
Huh?
That's the Attitude Era, right? When Stone Cold was all the
Yeah.
hype.
It was still. It was probably the late Attitude Era. It was like 2004, 2005 when he
Yeah.
was there. But basically, they were playing an angle where the two of them were gay. Case Closed was pretty fun to watch. Um, New Age out. Yeah, Billy Gunn of the New Age Outlaws. It was after his time. It was after they split the New Age Outlaws up, and Billy Gunn went on to team with Chuck Palumbo. And the angle they had him playing was the two of them were involved in a like gay relationship, and Rico was kind of played it up as himself being gay. But Rico was one of the guys that he trained. Also, two former WWE divas, Layla L and Melina, were also trained by this guy. So I'd like to wish a happy 50th birthday to Jesse Hernandez, promoter, referee, and trainer. So I know you guys may not know him as well, but you at least know some of the people he's trained, probably. Probably have seen it, just it's been a while. So
Yeah.
moving on then to the next, let's see, 2015, 2000, yeah, 19, yeah, 2000. Yeah, I gotta double check something here. Which one is next? Sometimes keeping track of this. Yeah, that was the next. I was gonna be the next one. Okay, so okay, here we go. So on this date in 2005, on this date in 2005, the direct-to-video anime series Yuki Kaze would finish its release run on this date in 2005. It was produced by Gonzo and Bandai Visual and would be released between the dates of August 28th, 2002 and August 25th, 2005. On this date in 2005, which was, of course, 15 years ago, um, they would finish their release run. So, don't know if you've heard of. I haven't even heard of that one, but I figured somebody in here may have. Never know.
I've never heard of that. This looks like I want to look at it though.
Yuki Kaze?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here let me let me pull that back up, and then maybe we can
Yuki Kaze.
we'll read a little bit more about it. Okay. We'll take a little bit more of a closer look at it and read a little bit more about it.
I had to consult my hard drives because I probably have it in there. I've got like terabytes of anime. I've got to
Yeah,
actually go through.
Yuki Kaze, which literally translates Snowy Wind, is a 5-episode Japanese direct-to-video anime series produced by Gonzo and Bandai Visual.
Oh,
Was
5
released
episodes?
in was
Oh,
released
sorry.
in Japan. Okay. The series is notable for its air combat scenes, which were created with the help of the Japan Air Self Defense Force, the JASDF. And I know that organization's been mentioned in a few animes before. Yuki
Probably.
Kaze has twice won the Tokyo Anime Award for OVA. So yeah, it's an OVA. So
Oh,
here's the plot. Here's the plot of it. This full 3D CG digital animation has story takes place in the far future after a pillar of huge fog appeared suddenly in the South Pole. This pillar, known as Jam, is actually a passage for an Earth invasion. In order to oppose the threat, the United Nations established an Earth defense mechanism. Fukai Zero is a hero registered to the main force of Earth defense and the special Fifth Flight Squadron. His reconnaissance plane, Yukikaze, Windblown Snow, um, is is the best tactical reconnaissance plane. His job is to collect battle information, return safely to the base with the information. But one day, when he is about to finish his duty, an unidentified machine attacked him. So, kind of, yeah, uh, this is a plot I've seen in a few animes before. Kind of I don't know, post-apocalyptic alien invasion
yeah.
kind of tidbit.
Mhm. It
I
just
don't
makes me
know
want
that
to
one,
watch. It makes me want to
but
watch the ending.
does it sound like something you might want to check out?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things I do. I try to promote stuff. That's another key thing about this day in each history. One is to reminisce about stuff you have seen, but it's also to maybe make you aware of stuff you haven't seen yet. So, so let's see. So moving on then. Um, Moving on to the next day in each this day in each history. Okay, so there you go. So on this day in each history, the DC Comics came out with the on this day in each history on this day in 2010, which was 10 years ago. DC Comics came out with the 20th issue of Batman: The Brave and the Bold. This was the Brave and the Bold series based on the cartoon of that time, not the original Brave and the Bold. Batman: Brave and the Bold. This particular comic was based on the cartoon of the late 2000s. The two stories featured here were home records and life on Mars, but there's not much of a synopsis to them. But on this date, 10 years ago, 20th issue of Batman: The Brave and the Bold, number 20, was released on this date in 10 years ago. And last but not least, in that be something from 5 years ago. As soon as I can find it. Yeah. Okay. Oh, here we go. So on this date, 5 years ago in 2015, um, premiering on the CW streaming service Seed, Vixen would premiere on this date in 2015, 5 years ago. Vixen, based on the DC Comics superhero Vixen, Mari McCabe, who was featured quite a bit in the Justice League cartoons of the 2000s as well. But on this date in 2015, 5 years ago today, Vixen would premiere on the CW Seed streaming service for the CW streaming service Seed, CW Seed. So, how did you guys like those tidbits? Little trivia tidbits.
I thought they're really informative. I've never heard of oh, the Yukikaze. I'd never heard of that. And I instantly wanted to go watch it. I was like, oh, that looks interesting. Let's go watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, season's done.
Well, that's one of the things I like to do most is just get the information out there, do the positive promotion. I mean, you know, aside from these streamings right now, I'm also doing profile. I do the VA profiles, voices big and small. That's to get everybody more acquainted with other voice actors out there, to get them interested in their work, and hopefully, if you want, if you were going to convention, you can always ask your local conventions to invite those voice actors to your convention to meet them. And then I do the Squared Circle Calendar one, to, which a hit wrestling history buff myself. I know there are probably people who are interested in that as well. So, so I've gone. So we're now coming up on hour and 35. Um, Anything else you want to say there? Action Toy Channels. Anything else you want to bring up?
Hmm. I was just gonna like say, is there anyone that's got like cartoons they wish to had completed, and but got cut short due to like no reason at all? Because growing up I was like, oh okay, I don't need cartoons anymore, and then I watched the first premiering of Skeleton Warriors
Hmm.
in early '90s, and it was awesome. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then they come out with the toy line. It was amazing. I was like, holy heck.
Are you talking about cartoons or anime that got canceled,
Cartoons.
or their run
Cartoons.
got stopped short, without finishing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
cartoons. I was
Or
talking about
more
Skeleton
cartoons?
Warriors. I think they're in 1992 that one come out. You got to double check though, because I'm not that good with dates.
Actually, I kind of wish, um, they continued the Young Justice cartoon that came out in the late 2000s. There, I don't know if you remember that one. That one was a pretty good one. Um,
That should had the Blue Beetle and all them, right?
right,
Young
right.
Young Flash and yeah, I thought that was pretty
Mhm.
good. It was like a Young Justice League or something, isn't it?
Right. The way they put it was that they would serve as almost like a secret ops. Basically the side. Much like the Young Justice and Teen Titans of the comics. Many of those who made up the team were the sidekicks of some of the more
Yeah.
established heroes.
Yep.
But that one, they were. It looks like they were going to do another season in which they were going to probably have Darkseid as the main protagonist, but they cut it short. And they also had a Green Lantern series from that time that was pretty good as well. So
Yeah, because I remember that Young Justice was they had Black Manta's son in there as one of the main heroes too, which was pretty cool.
yeah, what's kind of funny too is, even though they had Black Manta in Young Justice, they couldn't have him in the Justice League cartoons due to like an embargo thing going on or whatever.
Yeah.
So they had to. They actually so Black Manta in Justice League and Justice League Unlimited was represented as by Devil Ray, who was voiced by Michael Beach, of course. Um, yeah. Well, I hope you all had a good time tonight with the stream and stuff. Um, think I'm gonna wrap this up since we basically, I think I've covered everything, and bring you in was pretty good to get some time in too, just to get some conversations going on some other stuff too. Um,
Oh yeah, thank you. This is my first time ever going on a live stream or anything, talking to someone. It's like, oh. Yeah. Normally, I'm
well,
so
for
shy, so I
me,
just talk about it.
I'm a big conversationalist. I love just getting into conversations and sharing knowledge and sharing stuff like that, because it's that's what that's making things more interesting that way.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, I also like I also like reading off the stories and giving my commentary on those, but hearing your guys' replies to them. So we're the same. You're welcome, anonymity. Yeah, but
Next time,
getting your
Anonymous got to come in
response,
here.
huh?
So we gotta get Anonymity in here next time.
Yeah, well, I think as the name implies, he prefers his anonymity. He's actually told me that before, in one of his comments, because I offered that to him. But yeah, but anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. Thank you for joining me,
Oh yes,
Action
anytime.
Toys channel.
Much fun.
Um, yeah, okay. So I'm gonna let you out, and then
Okay.
thank you for joining me, and I'm gonna wrap this up, and I with some closing remarks, and then I will close this all out. So.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, thanks everybody for joining me for the stream tonight. And I thank Action Toy Channel as well for coming in and chatting with me. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Don't forget to like and share the streams so where we can get some more people in here, get some good conversations going. Don't forget also to look down at the link below because I'm still, of course, promoting a bunch of different dub companies and the GoFundmes and the Indiegogos as well. If you, as always, never feel like you guys have to donate. If you um, don't feel like you have to donate, if it's on your heart to do so and you have the means to do so, please consider donating. If you've already donated, please consider donating again. And if you cannot donate, you can still help out the cause by sharing the link. Your sharing is caring, and you never know. Maybe somebody may want to help out. So with all that, guys, I will bid you adieu, and I will see you tomorrow. Good night and bye.